seated.
Welcome to Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt of the Marquardt Law Firm at marquardtlawfirm.com.
Welcome to Talk Law Radio. I'm Todd Marquardt, and now it's time to discover your hidden legal issue blind spots by listening to me talk about the law on the radio. Are you paying a non-medical home care provider or a neighbor to sit with your older mom or dad? One wrong move could cost you big time. Join our discussion to uncover the legal pitfalls you need to avoid. But first, we're going to talk with our new sponsor, Steve Warren, with Financial Planning HQ. He's going to give us our financial focus segment this week, and he'll be back next week too. So we hope that you'll follow him and follow some of his advice. So this is Steve Warren, president of Financial Planning HQ. Tell us a little bit about your practice.
Oh, sure thing, Todd. And by the way, it's great to be back, and it's super fantastic to be here again. And so a little bit about our company. Financial Planning HQ is an independent registered investment advisor in the state of Texas. And so what that means is that we have no affiliation with broker-dealers or insurance companies. And what we do is that we work with financially successful people who want to focus on things in their life that are more important than money. And we deliver planning, advice, organization, and accountability for a flat fee.
Okay. Can you share with our audience how they can be sure that they're receiving advice from their advisor that is in their best interest? I've heard about the fiduciary standard of care and would like to talk about that for a little bit.
Sure, absolutely. So you kind of summed it up in your question. The fiduciary standard basically says that any advice that an advisor gives to their client should be in their best interest. And so there's the duty of loyalty. And that means that any advice that's given must be in the interest of the client and not the advisor that's giving it. So if we had time, I could give you examples of, where I've seen that breach, just different things that people have been advised to do that really were not in their best interest and probably more in the interest of the advisor that was giving the advice. Mm-hmm. So there's a duty of care as well that an individual, a professional advisor must be competent in what they're doing and be professional in what they do. And the full disclosure means that if there's any conflicts of interest, that an advisor should discuss that with their potential client or their client. And the other is that, again, just to really make sure that the advice that anybody is receiving, bottom line, is one that is in their best interest and not necessarily the most profitable for the advisor. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you tell us about your designation as a registered independent advisor?
Yeah, there's two different registrations that are out there. You can be registered with the SEC, and we happen to be registered with the state of Texas because that works well for our firm. And it just basically means that we're ruggedly independent. And so we can give unbiased advice to our clients that, is not, we don't have some company telling us that we need to sell this product, you need to sell annuities, you need to sell life insurance, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And just having that ability to be independent puts us in a really great position to give totally unbiased advice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How does your team give advice that's always in the client's best interest?
Yeah, that's a great question, the how part of it. When we first meet with a potential client, we sit down with them and we help them to crystallize what their overarching strategy is. And so we complete what we call their financial roadmap. And what's on that financial roadmap is the things that are important to them and goals that they have that require money and planning to achieve, the name of the goal, by when do they want to achieve it, how much money do they need in order to achieve it, and what are 2 or 3 words that describe what you're thinking and feeling once you've attained the goal and you reach the goal. And then we have a benchmarking of their current financial reality. And that financial roadmap document, which is, by the way, it's a big document. It's 17 by 22 inches. It's pretty big. And so that document, to a large degree, becomes their overarching strategy. And all of the advice that we give them is in alignment with that document. The client ends up with a comprehensive written lifetime financial strategy that aligns with that document. And then that strategy is updated and fine-tuned throughout the year. It's redone year after year after year after year because things change and nothing stays the same.
Right.
So by having a comprehensive written lifetime financial strategy that's in alignment with their overarching strategy, all the advice that we're going to give them is going to be aligned with what's important to them. And oftentimes that's not the case.
Right.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes to you and they already have advisors, are you able to work with your clients' current advisors?
Absolutely. We are able to work with our current advisors in the different disciplines, and only if they meet our standards, because we have very, very high standards. And so if a technician, whether it's in the tax, legal, insurance, every type of insurance that exists, or a financial planner, or a wealth manager, if these technicians are not up to our standards or they're giving advice that's contrary to the client's overarching strategy, then we have a pretty deep bench of subject matter experts. And we'll ask the client to fire who they're working with and replace it with somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Well, that makes sense if it's in their best interest, right?
It should, yes. That's what it's all about, right?
I know you have a great book that you share. Can you share it with our audience and tell us about it?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So we have a book that the general theme of the book is that it helps people to create an inspiring financial strategy. And it also teaches somebody how to do it themselves without an advisor. I don't recommend that, but it does, it's an objective book. So the general theme, again, is the art of creating a great financial strategy. And it's an easy read. It's not boring, and there's no technical information in it. Mm-hmm. There's nothing in there about investments and what you should be investing in or things like that. So it's an easy read. And if anyone in your audience would like to have, to receive one, along with a 20-minute phone consultation so that I can connect the key concepts in the book to the things that matter most to someone in your audience, then we can get one out and have that consultation. And if it makes sense for us to get together, I would invite you in, to formally complete your financial roadmap.
Right. So how can they ask you about that book? Should they call your office?
Yes, the best way to have a book sent out to you is just to call me. Again, my name is Steve Warren, and my phone number is 210-685-2722.
Okay, on the radio, we like to repeat the number a lot. So that's 210-685-2722. 210-685-2722. And you're going to be back next week with our financial focus and expanding on fiduciary duty and best interests and topics like that.
Absolutely. I think we should expand on the fiduciary duty and kind of give your audience some more information on that.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us today. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to be talking about home care with George Henry Torres II. So stay tuned.
This has been Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt, brought to you by the Marquardt Law Firm. You can learn more at marquardtlawfirm.com. And be sure to listen to the full Talk Law Radio show Saturday mornings at 11 on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Most families don't realize they have hidden legal blind spots until it's too late. Wills, trusts, Medicaid planning, even protecting a business. These are the kinds of issues attorney Todd Marquardt helps uncover before they become problems. Todd is the host of Talk Law Radio, where each week he guides listeners through the legal challenges families, veterans, and business owners face, while showing them the practical steps to protect what matters most. Catch Talk Law Radio, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, 6:30 a.m. The Word, and now in Houston on AM 1070 and 103.3 FM The Answer, or anytime on YouTube. Planning isn't just about documents. It's about peace of mind, security for loved ones, and building a legacy that lasts. Don't wait for a crisis. Do it before you die.